You don't just love, you attach. And nobody ever taught you how to do that without abandoning yourself. So, hey there, I'm Vanetta, and today we're talking about the kind of love that looks beautiful on the outside, but that quietly drains you on the inside. And so this video is for the woman who loves deeply, who gives generously, who stays longer than she should and tries harder than anyone else, but somehow still feels like she's the one who can't make love last. So if you've ever wondered, why do I love like this? Listen to this video carefully, because this isn't about you loving too much. It is about how you learn to love in order to feel safe. See, you love deeply because you likely learned early on in life that love was something you had to earn or protect or hold together. So you really didn't experience connection, you worked for it. And so now, as an adult woman, love doesn't feel easy to you. It feels like effort and maintenance and management. And I would bet that you don't even really fall in love. You commit emotionally before commitment is ever offered. I know this because I've been there and done that. So I can tell you without a doubt that this means you read moods, you anticipate needs, you adjust, or you over explain, or you give grace where you should draw the line. And you think that you're being loving and loyal and compassionate and understanding. But what you're really doing is abandoning yourself to hold relationships together. You see, when love feels uncertain, instead of pausing, your nervous system tells you to fix it, to hold on, to try harder, and don't lose this. And this may be subconscious, and you may not even realize you're doing this. And this is why I began this video saying you don't just love deeply, you love to a fault. And you take emotional responsibility for other people's capacity to love you back. You likely monitor every move your partner makes, their interest, their distance, their silence, their moves, their trauma. And you do this so you won't risk them leaving you. You become the emotional adult in the relationship. And you likely make a lot of excuses and explain a lot of things away, like he's just stressed, or he's been hurt before, he had a bad childhood, or he doesn't know how to communicate. This is simply empathy on steroids. And I know because I had that same high level of empathy. But hear me, that high level of empathy didn't develop out of the blue. It developed from a time in your life when staying emotionally on top of everyone was how you felt safe and it's how you survived. You learned early in life to tell yourself, if I understand them enough, I won't be abandoned. So you stay, even when your needs aren't met, even when communication disappears, and even when consistency fades. Because you tell yourself stuff like, if I leave, I'll lose. If I walk away, I failed. Or if I let go, I'll be alone. See, to you, even when relationships hurt, walking away feels worse because it activates an old wound that says, my worth walks out the door with them when they leave. So you stay longer and you explain more and you give again and again. And not because the relationship is good, but because you are afraid of what it says about you if it ends. And this is the part that nobody talks about, because walking away doesn't just mean losing the person. It feels like losing identity or your safety. Because somewhere in your story, love wasn't something you received, it was something that validated you. And that's why you don't just grieve the relationship when it ends. You grieve how you thought that relationship would define you. You grieve the version of yourself that hoped, that waited, that believed that this time it will be different. So naturally, letting go feels like betraying that version of you that you really wanted to be. But here's the truth that you really need to hear. Staying in something that cost you your peace is not loyalty, it is self-abandonment. So take this from someone who lived that reality. Healthy love does not require you to disappear. It does not require you to prove your worth, to overfunction emotionally, to stay quiet to keep the peace, or to carry the relationship on your back alone. Listen, you don't love deeply because you are broken. You love deeply because you learned that relationships equaled safety. And we will do anything to create safety in our lives. But safety doesn't come from holding on. It comes from self-trust. It comes from knowing that I will be okay if this relationship ends. I can choose myself without losing love, and I don't have to earn consistency. Listen, secure love meets you halfway, and it doesn't ask you to bleed quietly just to stay connected. Now, if this video is speaking to you, if you feel seen and exposed or even uncomfortable, that's not a coincidence. It means that there is a deeper work calling for you. And I'm opening the doors of the Awaken Her Inner Work Collective on Valentine's Day for women who are ready to stop loving from survival and start loving from self-worth. So visit awakenhernow.com and get on the email list so you will know when the doors open. Because the woman you're becoming doesn't need to try harder to be chosen. She needs to choose herself. Now, the link is in the description below, but one more thing before I go. Be gentle with yourself. You weren't loving wrong. You were loving the only way that you knew how. And now you get to learn a better way to love that works for you. Now, do me one more favor, share this video and this community with a woman who needs this kind of support. And I hope to see you inside of the Awaken Her Inner Work Collective very soon.